Ever wonder how piano players can create a beautiful arrangement of a song, including the melody? One of the best sides of being a piano player is the fact that we can play solo and arrange a complete song so it sounds amazing. In this video, I'll teach you my 5 simple step formula so you can start adding chords to the melody of a song and finally create your own beautiful arrangement of the songs you love. Also, if you'd like to have a PDF version of this video to help you implement these steps in your practice, you can download the free guide in the description below. Alright, so for this video, I'll be using the first section of the famous song Hey Jude by the Beatles. So the first step is actually to simply start by playing the chords in the root position of the song you want to learn. So in Hey Jude, this song is going to be an F major. So we're going to have an F major to start. That's the first degree of the chord progression here. So it's going to be F. So we have F, A, and C. Then the next chord is actually going to be C major. So it's C, E, and G. That's the 5th chord of F major. In this song, we're also going to have some variation of the C major. We're going to be using a C7. So we need to add the flat 7 over here, so the B flat, and we're also going to have a C7 sus4, and this one is going to be C, F, G, and B flat. So what's happening here is that we're replacing the 3rd by the 4th if you're not familiar with suspended chord. So that's what's happening here. So these are the 3 different C major chords for this section. So we have C triad, C7, C7 sus4. All right, and then we need one more chord, and it's going to be the B flat major. So it's B flat, D, and F like this. So truly the first step of this is just learning to play these chords just like that. So we have F major, C major, all root position here, C7, C7 sus4, and we also have a B flat. So these are really the chords we're going to be using to play that section. Now, in the same step, what you want to do is follow the sheet music or the chord sheet that you have and try to do all the chords one after the other, so in the right order for the song. So if we start the song, we have F. And for the left hand, by the way, I'm only playing the root note of each chord. So keep it simple at first. Really, we're learning the chords right now. So F, then you go to C, then we have C7, C7 sus4, back to C7 again, and F. Then we need to go to B flat, back to F, then C7, and back to F. So this is pretty much the chord we're going to be using for that section. So you need to practice this like this. You don't even need to start with a tempo yet. Just go around and practice the chords. Now, once you're familiar with the root position, you must start learning the chord inversion, because we're really going to need the chord inversion when we're going to be adding the melody. So the easiest way to practice this is actually just to pick one chord at a time and just figure out all the options that you have for that chord. Just up and down like this. So for F, we can practice it both hands. A very classical way of practice this, but it's super simple. So like this, you go up. All the different order that we can find for one chord. All right. Then we do the same thing with C. So you're familiar with that. Then C7. So for C7, we're going to have 4 options. Alright, so you get the idea here. So you really want to start learning all the chord inversion for all the chords that you're playing in the song. Then let's go back to the sheet music. Now that you know the chord inversion, we want to go back to following the sheet music, but this time we're going to try to pick the closest chord inversion we have for each chord. So if I start on F, then I want to go to C. I could use this chord inversion instead of jumping all the way down to the root position. So we'll go from F to C, then C7, C7 sus4, C7, back to F. Then B flat, this one would be closer, so F, B flat, and D. Back to F. C7 and F. And again, I'm not even adding tempo yet. I'm just really moving around using the chord and the chord inversion to figure out what are the notes I'm going to be using to play these. Alright, now moving on to step 2. Now that you know the chord inversion, and you're really familiar with all of that, we want to start adding some tempo to it. So the first thing you can start to do, very simple, is just follow the tempo for each chord. So you don't have to add more to it, just make sure that you change the chord at the right beat in the song. So let's go with F. Let's go very simple whole notes here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So in this section, the chords are moving faster. So we have one beat, then on the second beat is the suspended chord, back on C7 for the fourth beat, and then we're back on F, right? One more time. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. E flat, 2, 3, 4, F, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. So now you know how the tempo is going, how the song rhythm is going to be for the chords. Then let's have fun a little bit and add some quarter note in the right hand just to move things around with the chords. So we could do like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. And just like that, you even have a good accompaniment version if you want to sing along. Something else I love to do when I start learning the chords is adding some arpeggios on the left hand if you like, or any rhythm that you want. It could be dotted quarter note, 8 notes, or arpeggio. So let me show you a few things you can do, just simple chords, having fun with the chords without the melody yet. So very simple example where I'm mixing arpeggios and rhythm for the bass line. And by the way, just as a reminder, if you'd like to have the free PDF guide of this video to remember all the steps I'm talking today, you can get it down below in the description for free. Alright, so now we're moving on to step 3, and this is where we're going to start learning the melody. So for this, you're going to have two options. You can either learn the melody note by note, just like on the sheet music, or you can try to learn it by ear and just follow what you're hearing, but you really need to respect all the chord changes and the tempo of the song so we can actually recognize what you're playing. Alright, so for Hey Jude, if we start learning the melody for that first section and we follow along with the sheet music, we could have something like this. So it's like C, A, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. There you go. So now that you have the melody on the right hand, let's just add a simple root note on the left to add the chord changes to what we're playing. So it would be like 1, 2, 3. So this this is a really great exercise because you're practicing the melody on the right hand and then you're also remembering all the chord changes with the left hand. So this is the perfect way to start learning the melody. Let's move on to step 4. And in step 4, this is where the magic is going to happen because we're going to add the chords to the melody we just learned. So what's going to happen is that every time you see a chord on the sheet music with the melody, this is where we need to be playing the chords. So the one thing that you need to remember is that the melody always needs to be the top note. So this is why we need to know the chord inversion, because now when we have A, for example, it's below the F chord, we actually need to be playing the F chord below the A. So it's going to be a chord inversion of F right here. So instead of playing in root position now, we need to be playing the F below the A. All right. So just let me show you what it would sound like if I add all of that. So we're going to have there you go. So this is how it's going to sound like. So let's just break down what I just played. So like I said earlier, so we go back here to F, then we can keep playing the melody. So just to start right now, just play the chords when it changes for each bar here, okay? So we're going to keep it simple. So right here, we need to have an F and the F on the bottom, and it's going to be below the A, like this. Then you keep playing the melody as a single note. Now we're at C, and the top note for the melody is actually G. So we need to pick the C major chord inversion where we can play G on the top, like this. All right, then melody. All right, so now we have a C7. So the 7 is going to be on top because it's the melody. For the suspended chord, so the melody is actually playing B flat F, so we need to follow that with the chord. Like this. F on the top. So yes, it's going to be a big change, but we have no choice. We have to follow the melody. So that's the chord inversion I'm using. G, B flat, C, and F on the top. Then we have F and the E for the melody on the top here for the C7. So it's only moving one note, like this, C, and this one is an F major for that bar, but we need to have the D on the top. So this is why I'm gonna be using like this. By the way, this is quite fast. So this is, I'm not adding the C below because it's very close, and we're going to the C right after the D anyway. So So there you go. C. Alright, B flat. So for B flat, we need the D on the top so we can place F and B flat on the bottom, the notes of B flat. The melody and F. Now we need C on the top. So F, A, and C like this. And C. And for this one is tight with the next bar, so we're going to be playing the F on the one and then the F on the top for the melody, because we need to hear the chord change here on the first beat, like this. All right, so this is it. This is how you add the melody. So one more time. So we have 2, 3. 4. All Alright, so step 4 is a big step. So you need to really take your time and figure out what is the chord inversion you need to be using below each note of the melody. But it's really where everything happens, where you start creating this beautiful arrangement of the song that you actually like. Alright, now for the last step, for step 5, this one is my favorite because this is where I can go a little bit further with my arrangement and add some feels, just create the beautiful version of the song just like I want to. But make sure that before going into step 5, you really know the melody, you know the chords, you're comfortable to play the whole song only with step 4. Alright, so let me show you what I would do if I just add a little bit more to this beautiful arrangement of Hey Jude. And there you go. So let me break down a little bit what I just played for you, just explain what I'm doing right here in this arrangement. So I'm starting with the melody, then I'm playing my chord just like we've learned, but I'm adding the arpeggio we've talked about earlier. So some quarter notes to keep the beat going. The melody again, C with the chords. I love going to the sus2 sometimes just to create a little bit of movement in my arrangement, and the arpeggios on the left. Here, what I did is basically I'm using just a third instead of playing C again. Moving to the melody, then we can go to B flat here. Just like that. Another thing that is very cool when you start learning the chord like this is that you can actually play the chord, the same chord of the bar, multiple times with the note of the melody. So it's like playing, really harmonizing the melody here. So it's something that you can do. It's bigger to play that. So in this case here, I'm playing the F on the bottom every time I'm playing the melody. So I'm really harmonizing each of these notes. It makes it sound more full, so this is also something you can add. We can fill here with some chords like this, and going to B flat. Here, I love using this inversion because it creates a sixth here. So it's a beautiful chord, and it's actually, by the way, this makes a G minor chord. But it's B flat, D, and the melody on top. Arpeggios on the left. And F. Quarter note. C7. And here I changed a little bit of the melody just to make it more simple. And then we get to the F major chord. Alright, so there you go. You have 5 amazing steps to follow, and it's gonna work for every single song that you try to play. So thank you so much for watching, and if you've learned anything valuable from this video, please subscribe to the channel and like the video. It will help me grow this channel to help more keyboard players just like you. Alright, happy practicing!